The wind was soft and dry that morning, brushing the sides of buildings like a whisper that knew too much. I walked slowly down the stone path leading toward the gallery entrance, my steps light, measured, the kind of grace I had to earn. My coat shifted around me like fabric in a dream, and I felt the sharpness in my eyes, the confidence of someone who had finally begun to understand what kind of game she was playing. I wasn't nervous anymore. That part of me had burned away. I thought about it as I moved through the city's early rhythm. Something had changed. I had crossed a threshold. Since Catherine brought me back, there was this sense deep under the skin of knowing, of control, of power. Not something spoken aloud, but something that thrummed in me like a second heartbeat. And I liked it. I liked how it felt. Not loud or dramatic, but steady, present. It was like standing in a current only I could feel. I thought about the NoEye movement, how I used to admire their silence, their minimalism, how their pieces always felt like secrets. I used to ache looking at their work. Now, as I neared the gallery, I wondered if I had stepped into the thing I once worshipped, if I was becoming part of it. But then something shifted. 20 meters from the gallery entrance, my body betrayed me. The air turned colder. My stomach twisted in on itself. It began as a flutter, a strange unease. 2 steps later, it bloomed into nausea, so sharp it stole my breath. My skin prickled. The sunlight lost its warmth. I tried to keep walking, but stopped just short of stumbling. I leaned against the marble wall, pressing my palm into my stomach. A storm was starting in me. Nira appeared from the glass doors, clipboard in hand, looking surprised. She hurried over. "Oh no, you too?" she asked, her voice low and careful. I don't know," I said, breathing shallow. It hit fast. "It's going around," she nodded. "Some stomach flu or something. Vestra said 3 people called in sick. I'll bring you some ginger tea. Sit tight, okay?" I nodded. She vanished inside. As I waited, a mechanical hum from within the gallery floated out into the breeze. Low, constant, like the sound of something alive but sleeping. My nausea didn't fade. If anything, it rooted deeper. It felt wrong. Office. Not like a virus, but like being pulled into something. Naira returned with the tea. I took it with shaking hands. As I sipped, she tilted her head. "Is it that thing in the room? You were in there yesterday, right? That weird sculpture?" I tried to laugh, but it came out thin. "Technically, it's a chair. You sit on it and it rotates a little. It's functional art. And you got sick after using it? Maybe. The movement could have done it. I'm sensitive to things like that." "It's probably nothing," I said, shrugging. But even as the words left my mouth, they rang hollow. The gallery doors opened again. Slow, heavy. Catherine. She moved like always, effortless, smooth, unreadable. Her eyes landed on me and stayed there. "Still not well?" she asked, approaching. I tried to straighten, to speak, but the wave hit before I could answer. My body folded. My stomach clenched so violently I nearly collapsed. The teacup fell and shattered. "Whoa, okay," Naira gasped, reaching for me. Catherine stepped in from the other side. "The restroom. Now." I let them guide me. Everything was spinning. Inside, the bathroom was too white, too sharp. Catherine held me up firm and silent as I bent over the sink. I tried to breathe, but I couldn't. My body revolted. I vomited. Once, then again. I couldn't stop. Every muscle shook. She said nothing, just steadied me. I could feel her breath, her presence like steel. Then another surge, violent, unstoppable. My body lurched. My stomach turned inside out and I threw up all over her. She exhaled, sharp, disapproving. and took a step back. "I can't be exposed to this," she said coldly. "I'll change. Naira will help." She left. Naira entered seconds later, calm as ever, with a new cloth and another tea. "It's okay," she said gently, crouching beside me. I collapsed against the wall, the tile cool and solid against my back. My limbs felt like water. I sipped the tea. Slowly, something in me settled. Within minutes, the storm faded to a whisper. "Strange," Naira said, watching me. "You look fine now." "Yeah," I breathed. "I feel fine." "Still," she said, standing, "you should see a doctor, just in case. I'll call you a cab." It didn't take long for the cab to arrive. It was clean, quiet. The driver didn't speak. As the gallery slipped behind us, I felt something uncoil in me. Relief. Deep and irrational. With each block we passed, my head cleared, my skin cooled. I could breathe again. By the time we hit the third traffic light, I had almost forgotten I had been sick at all. The ride to the clinic felt like sliding out of something heavy. Each block we passed peeled a layer off my skin. The nausea dissolved. My breath steadied. My chest stopped buzzing. By the time the cab pulled up to the clinic's clean glass entrance, I felt like myself again. More than that, I felt sharp, balanced. Still, I went in. I wasn't stupid. My body had collapsed on me in public. That demanded an answer. The reception area smelled like sanitizer and soft vinyl. It was quiet. The kind of quiet that feels staged. A nurse handed me a clipboard. I filled out the form with shaky but improving hands, and within minutes, I was ushered into a side room. The doctor was middle-aged, soft-spoken, and moved like he'd seen every symptom 1,000 times. He took my temperature, asked me to describe what happened. I gave him the basics, the nausea, the vomiting, the strange wave that came and went like a storm over the sea. He nodded, almost bored. "We'll do blood and urine," he said, "and while we wait, I want to monitor your vitals. Lie down for me." I lay back on the padded bench. He clipped a pressure cuff around my arm, attached small tabs to my wrists and temples, looped a monitor over my finger. "Just rest. This will take 20 minutes or so." The lights dimmed a little. Not all the way. Just enough for my thoughts to blur. My eyelids grew heavy. I let them close. And in the next moment, I was standing in a field. The sky above me was a violet blur, starless, vibrating. A child clung to me, small arms wrapped tight around my waist, face buried in my ribs. I didn't know him, and yet I did. He was warm, real, not symbolic, not abstract. He didn't speak, just pointed to the sky. I followed his hand upward, but there was nothing. Only light, pulsing slowly like breath. Then we were elsewhere, in the gallery. The walls were the same. The silence was louder. He looked around, terrified, and began to cry. Not with tantrum energy, with grief, like he was mourning something he couldn't name. I knelt beside him. "It's okay," I said. "They're not here. Just breathe." He shook his head, still pointing, but not upward this time, toward one of the pieces, the machine. I took his hand. "We can leave. You don't have to see it." And in an instant, the gallery faded. We were turning, not falling, not floating, just rotating. Around us, black. Then stars, then nothing, then light. We spun as one, a slow, calm spiral. His hands in mine, my pulse in his. We weren't falling. We weren't alone. We were aligned. Then it snapped. I woke up hard, gasping. I blinked against the clinic lights. "You okay?" the doctor asked, glancing up from his screen. "How long was I out?" He smiled. "Not long. Maybe 10 minutes. I sat up slowly, and my body felt light, clean, empty, but in a good way, like something had left. He handed me a printout. Vitals are fine, no fever, no dehydration, no signs of infection. Then he raised an eyebrow. Except, he said, tapping the screen, according to this, you were dead for about 3 minutes. I stared. He grinned. Just kidding. Looks like the machine froze for a few minutes. Must have slipped a sensor. Happens. I tried to smile. It didn't quite land. He stood up. We'll get the blood work back soon, but I don't think it's a virus. He opened the door, then paused, and looked back at me. Might be a parasite, though, if you know what I mean. And he winked.